can tell me something about adverbs? Raise your hand. Who can tell me something about adverbs? Anything. Connor.
Adverbs tell you when or where.
Okay? Adverbs tell us when or where what? They tell us when or where.
Like, for example, when I'm going to do my homework, or where.
And do, what kind of word is do? Is that a noun?
Do is
A verb. So it'll tell us when and where. When the verb occurred and where the verb occurred. So like adjectives describe nouns, adverbs describe, let me hear you louder. Adverbs describe verbs, okay? And you're right, yesterday we learned when and where, and today we're going to learn how and how often. Hit the lights for me, Mahaya, please. We did get the board fixed to where you could touch it, but then it went crazy on us again. Okay, so we're going to have to use the keyboard up here, okay? The mouse pad up here when we're doing it. Okay, this is just like yesterday. It's the same format PowerPoint. But today, instead of learning where and when, we're talking about how and how often. Everybody pay attention to me. Let's don't pay attention to Tyler, okay? The whole class behaved badly. What are we going to ask ourselves? How did the class behave? How did the class behave? Badly. Badly is our adverb, and it is describing our verb. Okay, so what is the adverb?
badly.
Okay, good job. Adverbs describe how. We're still talking about how. John ran quickly. What should we ask ourselves?
How did John run?
How did John run? Quickly. Quickly is our adverb. It describes the verb ran. Okay? Johnny loudly played his tuba. What question should you ask yourself?
How did Johnny play loud?
How did Johnny play?
Loud.
Loudly. Loudly is our adverb because it's describing the verb played. It's very important that when you get a sentence, you ask yourself a question with either when, where, how, or how often. That's why I keep saying, what do we ask ourselves? That is very important. That's going to help you figure out what the adverb is. He worked fast to finish his work. What are we going to ask ourselves?
How did he work?
How did he work?
Fast.
He worked fast. And this one just messed up on me. So we're going to talk about how often now. How often tells how many times. It's kind of like a number, okay? How often you do something. How often do you do your homework, Madison? All the time. She does her homework all the time. It describes kind of like a number. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
John dances often. What are we going to ask ourselves? How often does John dance?
Often.
Often. That should be an easy one. I love how everybody's adding these to their anchor chart. Make sure you're doing that. Coda always helps her mom. What are we going to ask ourselves?
How often does Coda help her mom?
How often does Coda help her mom? How often does Coda help her mom?
Always.
Always. Always is our adverb, and it describes our verb help. Always. I already have them written on my anchor chart, so if I'm going too fast and you miss a spelling, you can look up there. Sarah never eats her vegetables. What are you going to ask yourself? Okay, how often does Sarah eat her vegetables?
Never.
Never. Nobody in here is like that. Y'all always eat your vegetables, right? Yeah. Never is our adverb, and it's describing our verb eats. Okay, we're going to do what we did yesterday. If I called your name yesterday, please let me know so everybody can have a chance, okay? And remember, we have to use the mouse pad up here because it was going crazy up there earlier. Tyler, did I call you yesterday?
Not on that.
Okay, well, come on up here. I want you to read the sentence, and then I want you to tell me if you need to ask yourself the question, how or how often. Read it out loud.
Ava happily completed the test.
Well, what question would you ask yourself?
How did she complete the test?
How did she complete her test? Go ahead and pick one. Happily. How did Ava complete her test?
Happily.
Happily. Add that to your anchor chart under how. Great job, Tyler. Emery, did I call you yesterday, buddy? I did? Madison, I called you yesterday, didn't I? DJ's not here. Connor, did I call you yesterday? Are some lucky kids. Corey, did you go yesterday? Okay, go ahead. Read the sentence out loud.
The crowd cheerfully chanted the team's name.
Okay, what question would you ask yourself? How did the crowd cheer? Come pick. Don't touch the board. It went crazy last time I touched it. How did the crowd cheer? The crowd cheered cheerfully. Great job, Corey. Mia's not here. Caleb, did you come up yesterday? All right, come on up here. Try to read loud for me, okay?
Okay. My class would never cheat on a test.
Okay, what are you going to ask what question are you going to ask yourself? Is it going to be, how did the class cheat on a test? Or how often does the class cheat on a test?
How often?
Okay, answer it. Great job. How often does the class cheat on a test?
Never.
Never. Add that to your anchor chart. I think this is my last one. Joseph, did you come up yesterday? Okay, come on up. Okay, no, I don't think you did. But it's okay, it's too late now. Read the sentence out loud for me, Joseph. I always brush my teeth before bed. Should you ask yourself how or how often? How often? Ask yourself the question. How often do I brush my teeth? Pick your answer. Always. Great job. How often does he brush his teeth?
Always.
Always. Add that to your anchor chart. I have one more. Mahaya, did you come up yesterday? Okay, come on up. I want you to read loud for me, okay?
Brayden played baseball often.
Brayden plays baseball often. You're going to ask yourself how Brayden played baseball, or are you going to ask yourself how often he plays baseball?
How often?
How often he plays baseball. You want to give it a try? Yes, you have to. Come on. Show everybody how smart you are. Remember, we're looking for the word that will answer the question, how often does Brayden play baseball? It's on there. Go ahead and click it. It's on there. Great job. See, you got it. How often does Brayden play baseball?
Often.
Often. That one should always be a giveaway. When you see the word often, it is going to be an adverb that tells us how often, okay? Hit the lights for me, Mahaya. All right, everybody. I have this fun game planned. And I planned it because I have all the confidence in the world that this can go off without a hitch. Because games can get crazy. Okay, listen up. This is how we're gonna do it. When I call your group, over here. When I call your group, I want you to go in the back and I want you to find a game board. Listen, this is very important, because if you have to raise your hand and ask me how to play, when I come over, I'm gonna tell you, but you're gonna lose a turn. So pay attention. Go back. You're gonna pull a card. You're gonna read the card. It's just gonna have a sentence on it, just like it did up here. You're gonna have to answer 2 questions. You're gonna have to answer if you should ask yourself the question how or how often, and you're gonna have to tell what the adverb is. If you get it right, you get to roll the dice. That's the only time you get to roll the dice, is after you get one right, okay? There's game pieces back there for everybody. Everything's in the bag. If you have a question about the answers, try to consult within your group before you raise your hand and ask me, okay? Does everybody understand? Raise your hand if you don't. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, green group, find a board. Pink group, find a board over here. Blue group, find a board. All right, yellow group, find a board. And you can get started. There will be no guesswork when you get down there. I've got everything going. All you got to do is read the question. Hold on. Wait until everybody gets so they can pay attention to you, okay? This is your piece. Put it on start. Okay? Put your pieces on start. It doesn't matter. I know they all look the same, but I know you know where you are. Okay? Joseph, start them off. Get the card out. No. Get the card out. If you have 4 people and 5 game pieces, how many will you have left over? Thank you. 4. That's right. Read the show it for us. You do the first one. Okay. Ask yourself the question. How does my class walk? And the answer is? Quietly. You see how he got that right? Now he gets to roll and gets to move his piece because he got it right. And just put it over here, okay? Go ahead and roll the dice. He gets to go 5. Now it's your turn. Get the card and do the same thing. So you guys have it?
I just don't know where it is.
No, you don't have to write anything down. You just tell your group, okay?
Jared is never late for school.
Pay attention, guys. Ask yourself a question.
3.
Quietly, does everybody agree?
This is me.
Then you get to roll the dice.
This is mine. Henry proudly showed us his ribbon. How often.
Did you ask the same question? Okay, very good. You get the roll.
How what's the question?
Okay, read this.
Ask yourself a question.
Okay, are you going to ask yourself how or how often? Think about it. How. So ask yourself how. Say, how did Henry show us his ribbon? How? It was just like we did up there just a second ago, remember? How did Henry show us his ribbon?
this. I'm gonna point to the word, okay?